You guys want the Chelsea news updates. You want to be informed. You want to watch videos with people talking a little bit of sense, maybe. Hopefully that's where I come in. And I'm going to give you today's Chelsea news updates regarding Ross Barkley, Declan Rice, Jorginho and Marcus Alonso. And a small mention of the nightmare that was last night. With that, let's get cracking. So we're going to talk about the game very, very quickly yesterday. If you missed it on my channel, I did an uncut match reaction about an hour after the game finished. Just going through the disappointing fact that it was a real Jekyll and Hyde performance. Good first half, totally dominant. Second half should have killed the game off. We were made to pay for the way we played, and then we lost on penalties. I've seen social media, people abusing Mason Mount and stuff like that. It's just a joke. Toxic Chelsea on social media, it's got to stop. But that's what I'm going to say on the game. So to Ross Barkley in a strange move. Now I'm saying it's a strange move, and the reason being is because we all sat and saw Frank Lampard's interview the other day where he openly admitted that Ruben Loftus-Cheek will probably go out on loan this season. On the basis that you've got 2 players for each position. Midfield, you've got, say if you play with 3, you need 6 midfielders. Conte, Kovacic, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, plus one other. And it was between Barkley and Loftus-Cheek. That's what I was thinking anyway. And of course that's not including Billy Gilmour, who's got a long-term injury, who we can't really include this season. So we're all expecting Ruben Loftus-Cheek to leave the club, which meant Barkley will take that 6th position and continue what he's been doing, trying to come on and make impact in games. So to my surprise today, bearing in mind Ross Barkley sat on the bench yesterday at Tottenham, he then joins Aston Villa on loan for the season. And I think that's just really strange. Bearing in mind, we've sort of said that Ruben needs to be playing. I just wonder if when push has come to shove, because we all know that Frank highly rates Loftus-Cheek, he rates Barkley, but highly rates Loftus-Cheek. I wonder if it was either a smokescreen, because people would then focus on Loftus-Cheek leaving like me, or if it's literally got to a final decision to be made and he's gone the other way and gone with Barkley going to Villa. For Barkley himself to go to Aston Villa, I think it's a good move for him. He's going to play football and he can be an influence. And I think it's a good move for Barkley. You could see it could lead to something permanent maybe, because let's be honest, he struggled to become a regular over time in the Chelsea squad, and this could be the opportunity that he needs. So what of the situation with Loftus-Cheek? I guess we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. But does that mean Loftus-Cheek is now staying because we've got our 6 midfielders? Or is Frank Lampard going to persist with Loftus-Cheek going to try and bring in Declan Rice? But as you can see here, a report that was featured earlier today in the Evening Standard, West Ham will reject all offers from Chelsea for Declan Rice before the deadline, which is I think 11 PM next Monday. Chelsea are still trying to pursue the move. It's believed that Declan Rice is still trying to push to sign for Chelsea, and as far as personal terms with the club, it's all done and dusted. As long as we can get that agreement in place to actually talk to him and get him to sign on the dotted line. West Ham are looking to bolster their squad and their options. They're restricted money-wise. Will they cave this weekend, over the course of the weekend, and accept maybe 60 million, which will then give them the money they need to go and get 2 signings that they were looking for? But of course, if they let Declan Rice go, they're going to have to try and replace him. I wonder, if Loftus-Cheek goes, it's a massive sign that Chelsea are expecting a midfielder to come in before the deadline, and that could be Declan Rice. I think looking at the performance yesterday, Jorginho and Kovacic there, we really do lack the defensive midfield when Conte's not there. We need somebody else along with Conte that can play that particular role and be effective. And Declan Rice, if you watch him, he is effective in that role. And I can understand now why Frank Lampard has sort of altered his view of Declan Rice. He previously see him as a world-class centre-back. Now he can see what he can do for the defensive side of our midfield. We're almost top-heavy with attacking midfielders, with midfielders who like to create and craft. We've got no real guile in that middle of midfield apart from N'Golo Kante. Declan Rice could and would be the answer. Just have to make sure we can try and get West Ham to budge. It might take big money. So talking of the likes of Jorginho, as I said a minute ago, he had a decent game yesterday. He was busy, getting stuck in, putting his foot in, getting himself booked. He's much better defensively than what he was under Sarri. He's been linked with a move away from Chelsea in the last couple of days. And again, it's the 2 players for every position. And I can see Jorginho staying. He's been linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with PSG. And his agent come out and spoke yesterday before the Tottenham game. And he said Jorginho's still got a 3-year contract at Chelsea. I feel a lot of talk about Arsenal and PSG in the last few days. But the reality is that up to now, no official offers arrived for the player. The transfer market closed on the 5th of October, but the more time passes, the more difficult it is to make such an important operation. So at the moment, I can say it's just rumours. He is happy at Chelsea. He started the season well, and being the vice captain at the moment, he is focused exclusively on the Carabao Cup game against Tottenham. And we all know what happened. Just a word on the penalty shootout. A lot of people are asking why Timo Werner didn't take the penalty. He had a muscle strain. He was being treated by 2 physios on the full-time whistle, and he just didn't feel good enough to go and take the penalty, to strike through the ball with the power that he did when he scored the goal. And it was good to see him get off the mark yesterday. But that's Jorginho, and it looks as though Jorginho will probably stay now with the likes of Barkley going, and we'll wait to see what's happening to Loftus-Cheek. One player who is going to go, I would say will go, is Marcos Alonso, which means Emerson Palmieri's hope that he could go back to Italy is probably going to be disrupted, with Alonso being touted to leave the club. We saw reports of the bust-up between Alonso and Frank Lampard at West Brom. Don't need to say any more about that. So Marcos Alonso could now find himself out the door before the end of the window on Monday. Emerson come on yesterday and he's okay going forward, but he lacks defensively for me. And that goal that they scored, the equaliser with Lamela, he switched off and got caught the wrong side. I just think that Alonso offers you a little bit more than Emerson does. I know it's not great, but it's better than Emerson. And I wonder if Alonso and Lampard can patch things up. Because if we do go with a 3-man defence, Chilwell will be number 1, obviously, but he needs a backup. Alonso can do the job as a wing-back. He's effective in the opposition half and the opposition penalty box and set pieces. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Alonso, but he's done himself no favours the past few days. And I can imagine that between now and Monday night, when the deadline strikes, there's going to be all sorts of rumours, all sorts of speculation, and probably all sorts of movement out of Chelsea, with 34 players on the books and some that haven't even been registered with squad numbers that's still at Cobham looking for a move away, such as Victor Moses, Danny Drinkwater, Tumi Bakayoko. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So that's it from me today, guys. This has been the Chelsea news and Chelsea transfer news update with me, Chelsea Daft. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it makes some sense and you can relate. It just sparks something in your mind to get you thinking, get you talking. And if it does, post your comments in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me. Then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss my videos come out, which is pretty much daily or at least 6 out of 7 days per week. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Wednesday. See you tomorrow.